Leading by 5. Passes it to Dumboya. Here's Wood. Down low. Puts it up from 12. Morris with the bucket.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Van Vliet passes to Hollis Jefferson. Rebounded by the Pistons. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Yeah, and in that game, you see how they built out this roster, acquiring role players who can step up when needed.
And a strong bench gives you the flexibility to bring someone in and exploit a certain matchup.
Powell down low. Out to the right wing. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The 3. Reggie Jackson with the rebound. The Pistons leading. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
Play calling has been fantastic. They've been a step ahead of the defense since the opening tip.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's guarded closely.
Great defensive effort. For just saved a basket.
You know what? This is why you never give up on a play. You don't know what's going to happen.
Kennard kicks to Jackson. Pass to Wood. This one for 3. Powell pulls it in.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Floats one, and he lays it up and in. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for Detroit. They've a 9-point lead. Morris outside. Kicks it to Dumboya. Here's Kennard, guarded by Powell. They get it back. And the rejection by Ibaka.
Great defense by Serge, a tremendous athlete, blessed with insane length and leaping ability.
Morris with the rebound.
I mean, you won't see this too often. Getting denied at the rim. He's likely to remember that one.
Kennard kicks to Jackson. From deep. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Pistons ahead. Up 9. We'll be back shortly, live from Toronto. And Serge Ibaka talked about his skill set and how it complements Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam and what he brings to the team.
Bring my defense toughness, my experience playing with those two guys, one of the best in the game right now, and then helping those two here, and with my experience, what I learned. I think I can help the team a lot, energy, and both hands on the floor.
And really, Ibaka is a seasoned veteran now, a terrific role player known for his defense.
And Ibaka knows his role and plays it well.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. Guys, what do you think so far from what we've seen from the Pistons?
Well, they've been aggressive from the beginning, particularly on the offensive end.
And that has helped them build an advantage here, playing with good focus and good energy.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And Detroit looking at who they've got. Jackson and Kennard pair up at the 1 and the 2. Holmes is out there with Wood, and it's Dumboya in at the 3, the small forward.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
For Detroit, they have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line. The first free throw is good. Well, this term load management now is something you hear about, read about all the time, Steve. Do you think we'll ever see the regular season shortened by a few games?
You know, Commissioner Silver has talked about it, and it's been thrown around 75 games. I will say the NBA has done a fantastic job, along with the Players Association. There's longer off seasons. And there are also longer time throughout the All-Star games, and there's not as many back-to-backs. The Toronto Raptors are an elite defensive group. Reasons why they're long, they're smart, and they're experienced.
And keeping us updated from the side. Let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto, last season Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23. And he has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. After winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey. Thank you.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson, staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
You talk about the defensive IQ, Smitty, for the Raptors. Where does that reveal itself?
For me, Kevin, their rotations, they are able to send help, double teams, and still recover and get out to shooters.
Here's a look at what's coming up for the Detroit Pistons. On Friday, they'll go up against the Bulls in Chicago. And then on Saturday, they'll be matching up against Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets.
And for that matchup with the Wizards, there aren't many other meetings that are as evenly matched as this one. Both teams can give and take punches, and this one, I think, is going to come down to the wire.
Some changes for Toronto. Marc Gasol's checked in for Ibaka. Murray comes in for Norman Powell, and Kyle Lowry subbed in for Fred VanVleet. And then for Detroit, Andre Drummond's checked in for Markieff Morris. Tony Snell comes in for Dumboya, and it's Rose in for Jackson.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you can see the frustration on his face.
And the slam dunk by Johnson.
I'll tell you, that's a freight train coming through. No one wanted to step in and take the charge from Stanley Johnson.
Pistons leading by 10. Kennard, the pass to Wood. And stolen by Kyle Lowry. And here we go. Fast break. Murray's got it. And it's Murray with the jam.
And that's how they're going to trim this lead. Play tough D, force some turnovers, and then push it in transition.
Kennard, the pass to Wood. Siakam is checked in for the Raptors. Wood pass to Dumboya. The Pistons working the ball around now. The pass to Jackson. Floats one up. He lays it in. Jackson's got 4 points in the quarter.
Love that by Reggie Jackson. The floater is a natural move for him.
Now here's VanVleet. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
He liked to have that one back. That's easy money.
Here's Doumbouya. Off the mark and a bad shot there. Raptors trail by 8. Hollis Jefferson, good.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Morris finds Jackson. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%, 5 for 7. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Raptors. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
Yeah, and I think the perimeter game is what helped them in that one. Consistent from out beyond the arc.
We talk a lot about shot selection, and we saw why. You want to avoid empty possessions.
Pass to Doumbouya. Back to Jackson. Pass to Kennard. 6 on the shot clock. Doumbouya kicks to Jackson. Shoots over Van Vliet. Jackson misses. Toronto trailer. Here's Powell. Makes it off the glass. Powell's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Here in the second quarter, he's looking much more comfortable with his offense.
Powell with the steal.
Gotta recognize the situation, trying to get a 2 for 1.
Absolutely, but at the same time, you want to get a good shot.
Detroit leading by 4. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Kennard kicks to Jackson. Jackson is doubled. High arcing shot. That one falls.
Shooting at a high clip, he's found ways to get quality looks.
Now here's Van Vliet, guarded by Jackson.
A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
Here's Doumbouya. No good on the last second attempt there. Reggie Jackson firing on all cylinders for Detroit. He notched 8 points. In the quarter. All right, David, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could... Teams changing it up here. Tries a 3 off the inbound, but they get it back. Here's Morris. Rebound by the Raptors. Guys, there's still time for them to make a run.
Can't have any wasted possessions down the stretch.
We've got Fred Van. Vliet. Also Johnson out there. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Ibaka. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors. Kennard, the pass to Wood. The feed to Jackson. And Jackson throws it down hard.
The flat-out speed of Reggie Jackson No struggles getting to the rim and then doing something about it when he gets there.
Van Vliet finds Ibaka. Van Vliet up top. Doesn't go for him. Good work defensively by Morris.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Jackson with it. It's Ibaka picking him up. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And not too long ago, Reggie Jackson signed a 5-year, $80 million deal. A lot of pressure on him to earn that money.
Thomas checked in for Stanley Johnson. Smitty, you've seen this before. Separating teams that can make the deep playoff run, those that can't, get bounced out early. What have you found is the difference between those two?
Well, a lot of times, Kevin, it comes down to those teams have more talent that can make those deep playoff runs. Also, they can make adjustments. And then I think also they're a team that has better chemistry, and they can win defensively and not just have to rely on their offense.
Raptors trail by 14. There's Hollis Jefferson. It's hauled in by Wood. Wood's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Morris kicks to Wood. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Pass to Kennard. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Dan Kennard came into the league viewed mostly as a shooter, but he's been able to provide much more than that.
I mean, better than you think when he puts the ball on the floor. Learning how to lean into defenders and step back to open up the shot is a better playmaker than he gets credit for, and we should see him take on a larger role as he develops.
First free throw is good.
Last year, an 8th seed finish for the Detroit Pistons. Had to work for it, battling it out to the very end of the season. Their 500 record of 41-41 was just enough to get in.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And Smitty, last season for the Pistons, a short playoff trip as they were swept by Milwaukee, but still a learning experience.
Kevin, getting this team back to the playoffs was the first step. The young players learned a valuable lesson. It's all about changing the mindset and culture of this team.
Oh, wide open look here for Ibaka. A three-pointer off the mark.
Defensively, it's hard to account for everything. They gambled off him, and it worked.
Here's Kennard. He's guarded by Thomas. The pass to Snell. Just 5 to shoot. From deep three-point range. Kennard kicks to Snell. Outside Jackson. The wing jumper off target. Raptors trail by 16. Out to the wing. Trying to end the drought, and it's good on the way in.
That's good planning, and that's good execution, and that's a great look.
Detroit's gone 2 of 5 with a three-point shot since coming out of the break. Jackson is doubled. Pass to Morris. All sorts of time. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 6 assists now in the game. Van Vliet looking around. It's blocked. Here's Snell. He has 6. That one goes in.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Derrick Rose is checked in for Luke Kennard. That's good from Snell. And the Toronto Raptors knew in trading for Kawhi Leonard that he might not stick around. Even after his decision returned to his hometown of Los Angeles, Greg, the Raptors have to feel good about the way it all worked out for him.
Kevin, the first championship in franchise history, and now they set about working their way back to the mountaintop. Some talented young players and quality vets, not to mention an outstanding front office. I think it'd be a mistake to count them out.
And that time, the defender a little out of control. Serge Ibaka wily enough to draw the foul.
And so it's Rose bringing it up for Detroit. When this game is done, they'll be off to Chicago as they take on the Bulls. That'll be the second of this two-game road trip. Clock at 6. Launches it. Can't connect. Reggie Jackson firing on all cylinders for the Detroit Pistons. Now let's take a listen on head coach Dwayne Casey.
Hey, we got to get down and get engaged until the end.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Detroit leading by 17. Stolen by Van Vliet. On the court for the Pistons, they've got Tony Snell. Wood out there with Markieff Morris. And there's Jackson, and it's Rose in at the 2.
If you let Serge get looks in there, he's going to shoot him for a very high percentage.
Here's Rose, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And boy, what a...
And for Rose, so many had written him off, but he was a huge factor for the Timberwolves.
Rose still has a tremendous passion for the game, and it really shows on the court. His renaissance last season was one of the better stories in our league.
A lot of people think, Steve, there are 3 factors necessary to achieving organizational success. Ownership, and ownership. What do you think?
I guess it's ownership. I think it also comes down to trust. Trust in anything gets you a chance to be successful.
And Steve, you know, it's just about establishing that culture, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think you got to have an identity, a culture that everybody wants to be a part of.
Passes it to Griffin. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. And the Pistons lead by 21.
Yeah, they've sucked the energy out of this arena. Tremendous effort on the road.
And when you're on the road, you can't be tentative coming into a game like this. I thought their aggressive approach was the difference.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. 6 on the shot clock. Payne passes to Powell. But they'll get another chance. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that'll do it, folks. Now for Smith and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports. See you next time.
Pick and roll defense is crucial in today's NBA, okay? And how you approach it says a lot about how good you are as a coach.
The professor is in. Teach time, Hank.
Yeah, here we go. Look, I'm just saying, the best players in the league, your Stephs, your Hardens, your Durants, they'll kill you in the pick and roll if you don't know what you're doing. They'll kill you no matter what, but you don't have a prayer if you're not going to mix up the coverages and find something that works at least some of the time. Now, if that means getting creative with lineups, then you get creative with lineups. There's no excuse for trotting the same coverages out night after night and expecting them to work. You just got to be creative.
Play chess, not checkers.
That's what I'm saying, Hornet. Look, I've got more thoughts on defense.